Champions League Fukuoka happened over the weekend, and we have all top 16 deck lists here on Limitless, so I figured we might as well go ahead and look at them. Now, it did cut to a top 32, but I don't know. I don't think those lists are collected and available yet. I even checked on Pokebook, and on Pokebook, there was only the top 16, so let's take a look at the top 16 lists from Champions League Fukuoka, the first rotation tournament of rotation, the first major rotation tournament, and it was won by Mega Absol Box. That's right. No Arvin, no Turbo Energize, no Nest Ball, probably no of something else that I don't remember, but that's a lot of no's. No Iono, I guess, right? Doesn't matter. Mega Absol still took the dub. That is actually 2 major tournaments in a row where Mega Absol won. We did just see it win over at EUIC, and now the next major tournament, it won again. Yeah, no Penny is a big one, actually. And of course, the deck changed up quite a bit. With all of those exclusions, you still got Mega Absol. You still got Kangaskhan, Monkey Dory, Psyduck, no Petron EX, Double Latias, Pheasantipity. This build has a Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, but we got to get creative with how we find our Pokemon because we don't have Arvin for Trolley anymore. So we have Cyrano. Got the Cyrano in here. Got 4 Ultra Ball. And then we also, from there, have to get creative with our Energy Acceleration. We don't have Turbo Energize. So we have Crispins and Energy Switches to go alongside the Teal Mask Ogerpon. So this is a pretty crazy build, I would say, for sure. Like, did not expect this deck to survive. Like, I thought Mega Absol would still probably find its place at some point. I was like, Mega Absol will probably be a good card again at some point in the future, but it probably won't be immediately after rotation because you just lost so much. The best way to play Absol is basically just gone. Apparently not. Apparently it's not just gone because it's basically back in the exact same form as we had it before, or pretty similar to it, right? Like, Cyrano's your Trolley. You got Energy Acceleration through the Teal Mask Ogerpon and the Crispins, and you E-switch. Your main attacker is still Absol, and you got the backup of the Clefairy, the Ursaluna in the late game, and then the Teal Mask Ogerpon, or the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. So the deck did not really change that much, I feel like, functionally, in terms of, like, what you attack with. But definitely not... definitely did not expect to see the deck actually win or to see Mega Absol succeed this early on into the format for sure. Yeah, no, Yveltal is interesting for sure, but you have to like play Petron as well, right? You have to be Yveltal and Petch or something like that. That wouldn't be bad, I guess. Was playing the Unfair Simp as the A spec, as we saw from most decks. We'll see a lot of Unfair Simps as we go through the rest of the lists. And then on top of the Cyranos, had Bronx Scouting. I guess that's like one of your ways to help find Monkey Dory as well. You can still help with your early game setup of your Absol and things like that. And then some Cypher Maniacs code breaking. Find your combo pieces, specifically finding Unfair Stamp is kind of cool. Appreciate the 7 months there, Kelso. So yeah, definitely. Oh, Area 0 as well. So we're going wide. We're also going wide. Got to make some bench space for the Monkey Dories, stuff like that. Especially up against like Pulse specifically. Gonna want that extra bench space. I guess no one was retreat locking. Yeah, not a lot of retreat locking, I guess, for sure. But also, it looked like retreat lock was really, really good at this tournament. Like, every deck we saw was just like, well, retreat lock looks really good. Yeah. Is there another way to get Trolley? Is Petrol? Yeah, but at that point, you might as well just play Cyrano, right? Because it's like the same thing, but it's like a better card for more situations. I think your A-Spec is unfair. You get to keep... You're basically making your supporter your A-Spec at that point, when you could have a better A-Spec. Cypher for Unfair is probably what makes this deck so strong, since you are so much more consistent at finding your early turn brick opponent tool. Yeah, for sure, definitely. I could see that being a big plus. Why did Lucario players not play Ursa in Fukuoka? Ursaluna? It just didn't seem very good in there. What's the point of playing it? Unfair to Claw of Darkness is so gross. Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, Mega Absol takes it down. And then also, the second place deck was also a pretty unexpected play as well. We actually saw multiple different builds of this throughout the tournament. The Meganium Teal Mask Ogerpon Arboliva deck. We saw a build with Noctowls. We also saw another build pretty similar to this, I think, at some point in the tournament from a different player, although it might have been the same player, to be honest. But Meganium plus Teal Mask Ogerpon hits pretty hard, and then just play Arbro Leva, I guess, as a snipe attacker. Sure, why not? Yeah, I don't know. This deck like looks confusing for sure because it's like Arbor Leva has like no synergy with Meganium at all. There's like zero synergy between Arbor Leva and Meganium. Arbor Leva takes 1 energy to attack, to use its best attack, the Oil Salvo. But you just need like something else in the deck, like being just like a pure Teal Mask Ogerpon deck apparently isn't good enough. So you just need something to help switch it up, and the Arbor Leva is that switch up. Give you a little bit of bench sniping. Pick off Monkey Dories, Dracloaks, Dreepies, whatever. Set up for 2-hit KOs. Definitely an interesting deck. Definitely an interesting deck. And worth investigating further once we get to rotation. Can you use Baby Genesect to actually synergize with Meganium? The Grass Gen, obviously. Well, you need like E-Switch, though. If you don't have E-Switch, it's like pretty weak. Someone was playing Meganium. Mega Meganium 2, if I recall correctly, in this type of deck. I think we saw the Mega Meganium in a build with Mega Venusaur. So you had like the damage or the way to move the energy around with that. Damage counter snipe is so good. It's not damage counter snipe. Like Arbor Leva gets stopped by Shaman. But I assume like they probably went up against quite a few players who didn't have Shaman in play, and then you just like dropped the Arbor Leva in 1 turn and then started sniping the bench. Still pretty good. I feel like Arbor Leva turn 2 obliterates Paul. Yeah, it seems pretty good. You just pick up Dracloaks and Dreepies, right? And if they haven't found Shaman early enough, then you can get a huge lead and then close out the game with the Teal Mask Ogerpons. And then now we get to like, well, for a couple decks here, we get to the more normal decks. We had a Dragapult build here in 3rd place. 3-3-2 Dragapult line, but did have Kangaskhan to kind of supplement the draw power for sure. Was playing Area 0, so could go wide to use multiple cats and have space for Monkey Dory. And then played a lot of Monkey Dories. 3 Monkey Dory. Oh, 0 Buddy Poffin. Yeah, there's also 0 Buddy Poffin in here. I saw someone else talking about 0 Buddy Poffin on Twitter. Like how Buddy Poffin isn't that good. Not sure about that, but yeah. What's the POW for? It's just for your own Area 0. So you get to go wide with Area 0, then use Chi and POW to remove your liabilities. Go wide. Then clean up your board. Yeah, 4 Crispin. Only 2 Lilies. So, dude. This list is crazy. Only 2 Lilies. The best supporter in the game. 2 of them. 4 Crispins. 2 Brocks. Man, this one is crazy. Not to say it's wrong, though. It just is crazy. We got a Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking there. Obviously has synergy with the Kangaskhan, playing a Dawn. I actually really like the energy switch. We saw the energy switch actually be effective multiple times for Dragapult players. And then there was also multiple other situations where I was like, yo, an E-switch here seems kind of sick. So I think energy switch might become a staple in Dragapult as like a one of. Because it was really, really strong. We saw it be really effective over the weekend. And there was also situations where we didn't get to see it get used, but it would have been like, oh, E-switch would be like really, really good here. Does Poffin rotate? No, Poffin does not rotate. And then 1 Harlequin to go alongside the Unfair Zam as the Hand Disruption card. If you don't know why Harlequin, go look up Jake Gearhart's post on Twitter. So that was the most successful Pult list. Most successful Raging Bolt deck, but not the only Raging Bolt deck in cut. There's 2 of them here. We've got Raging Bolt Noctowl, which is definitely not the way. Like when I looked at City League results like last week, I don't think I saw a single Raging Bolt Noctowl list if I remember correctly. Most of the Raging Bolt lists I saw were like, this has no cats. There's no cats in this list. Or Crispin, of course, that makes sense. That's your new form of energy acceleration. Unfair Stamp as well. Is that Unfair Stamp in the top 4 decks? That's a lot of I think it's Unfair Stamp in the top 4, right? Yeah. 3 Area 0 and the Jamming Tower. No Chi and POW is interesting. Heavy on the Pokepad, of course. Really good because it finds your Fan Rotom, then it finds your Noctowls later. So the Pokepads basically find your whole Pokemon search engine. Yeah, only 6 supporters total. 1 Lily, 4 Crispin, and a Boss's Orders. And it's a little bit more like of a box build of a deck. Right? You have the Raging Bolts, but you also have the 2 Clefairies, 1 Baby Terrapico, or 1 Terrapagos EX, and the Iron Leaves. So the Owl build is a little bit of a surprise to me because, like I said, looking at City Leagues just last week, it looked like most Raging Bolt builds were like cat builds, not owl builds. And there's actually 0 Meowth in here, which is definitely a surprise. I'm surprised to see no Meowth. And then we get to the other. I think we get to the. I mean, the top 2 decks are definitely standouts, but this one's also a pretty big standout. I feel like is the Crustal deck, the Crustal here, and it's got some interesting inclusions. I actually don't know why this is in here. I could not tell you why the Pheasantipity is in here, but the Team Rocket's Articuno is probably in here as an Alakazam tech. You just put a couple of these in play. You have 1 Prism Energy, so you build it up eventually. And you start attacking, I assume. Crustal, obviously, is its own win condition. There's no healing in this deck besides Monkey Dory. So it's all Monkey Dory and Crustal. Probably because of the coin flip. Does that even make sense, though? The Fez says if it has a dark energy attached to it, and it would be damaged by an attack flip coin if heads prevent that damage. I just don't know why. It just doesn't seem very good at all. I don't understand the point of the Pheasantipity, to be honest. Can Alakazam not like power up a Dunsparce? You can, but you have an Articuno that is backed up by Monkey Dories that has a Hero's Cape, so it's gonna be tough. I think you win that situation. The Articuno definitely should beat the Alakazam for sure. Articuno is to beat Alakazam. Articuno is to beat Alakazam. KO Hariyama? Does it KO Hariyama? Maybe that's the reason. Stall a turn or force a boss. I mean, that can't be why. It has to be in there as like an attacker for a certain situation. Hariyama does make sense though. Maybe it is it KOs Hariyama. I could see that being the case for it. Is 1 Articuno not enough to beat Zam? Probably not because of prize cards. You don't want to prize it. Probably just play 2 because of the prize card factor. I could also see it being relevant to like getting multiple set up because they can attack you with like a fan rotom or something like that. So while one gets pressured, you set up the other one on the back line or something like that. I guess I could see that being the case as well, maybe. But I would assume the prize card factor is the biggest reason to play 2 Articuno. They're not playing best of 3, they're playing best of 1, so maybe you apply that there and just be like, it's better to play the 2 just because of that, I guess. But even in best 2 out of 3, I guess you could still make the case for it. It depends how much pressure the Alakazam player can put on your first Articuno. Because you don't want to feed them any other prize. You don't want to feed them prize cards at all. You want to like have an Articuno in the active as soon as possible, I assume. So depending on how quickly they can start to pressure your Articuno, you'd want to bench the second one and start to build that one up potentially. Or while you set up Monkey Dories, one goes down, then you push up the other one, and then the other one's just safe the rest of the game. But no Ice Cream is playing the Hero's Cape as the A-Spec as well. Lux Cape rotate? I actually don't know. I feel like this loses to both Rocket decks. Probably, yeah. You probably lose to both Rocket decks, for sure. I don't think you're beating Rocket's Mewtwo or Honchkrow. What does Articuno do to beat Alakazam? Alakazam can't damage the Articuno because of its ability. Prevent all effective attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to your Team Rocket's basic Pokemon. And the damage from Alakazam's attack isn't effective an attack, so it wouldn't affect Articuno. You just, yeah, put an Articuno in play. And then build it up, get you a Prism Energy, start attacking. And if they're going to punch you with Fan Rotom, you can have Monkey Doors to move all the Fan Rotom damage back to their side of the field, or Dunsparce, whatever. Just build up the Monkey Doors on the bench and you're chilling. How is Rocket's Mewtwo hitting Ogerpon? Ogerpon prevents damage, not effects of attacks. So Alakazam's damage, or Alakazam's attack hits Ogerpon. It doesn't hit it with a mist, though. I guess there is also mists in here. Oh, but they play Enhanced Hammer, probably, right? Alakazam's are playing Enhanced Hammer, theoretically, so... yeah. You go Fez Cape versus Honchkrow, force them to discard, win the flip, and then win the game easy. Maybe, yeah, sure. is Pheasantipity out to the Honchkrow matchup? Because they do have to discard the supporters ahead of time, right? Wait, actually, yeah, they do. They have to discard the supporters ahead of time. That would actually be funny if this is your win condition against Honchkrow, is just to run them out of... No, but they eventually get to Porygon. They hit you with Porygon. Nah, this is fake. This is fake. That's fake. That's fake. That's fake. All right, yeah, the Crustle deck is interesting for sure. Does Crustle survive fully? We'll see. There was a Dragapult Dusknoir in the top 16 as well, not just Straight Pult, which Straight Pult seems to be the main way that people are playing the deck. Now, this looks like what I would have expected from a Dragapult deck. 4 Lily's Determination, 4 Buddy Poffin, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Pokepad. There's Briar in this build, which does have synergy with Dusknoir, of course, so the Briar inclusion here is kind of cool. And Briar is going to be that much more powerful as an inclusion in Terra decks because of Meowth. You have Meowth to help you find your Briar. Only 1 Crispin. Yeah, that is a good point. There's only 1 Crispin in here. But they do have the Rosas. And we actually saw this player play on stream. And they had a pretty powerful combo through Noctowl. They found, like, was it Unfair Stamp Rosas or something? They had, like, an insane turn where they just, like, obliterated the opponent through an Unfair Stamp combo. But they have Rosas Encouragement. We got Rose's Encouragement here. That is the other form of Energy Acceleration, which seems pretty good as well. I mean, you only have the 1 Crispin, but the Roses is also pretty good. And it actually might be better than playing... Like, maybe the second Crispin should always be a Roses, to be honest. I could see that. 1-1 Noctowl to pull together the combo pieces. I actually don't hate this. You just put it on your bench at some point, put down the Hoot Hoot, and then eventually just go Noctowl to find stuff like the Unfair Stamp. That seems pretty good. When the format seems to resolve so much around having your Unfair Stamp on the turn you want your Unfair Stamp, playing stuff like Cypher's Maniac here to find your Unfair Stamp, or Noctowl and Raging Bolt to find your Unfair Stamp, or Noctowl in Dragapult Dusknoir to find your Unfair Stamp. The format revolves so heavily around find your Unfair Stamp on the correct turn you need your Unfair Stamp that playing something like 1-1 Noctowl and Dragapult kind of makes sense, to be honest, which is... Oh, it sounds a little cringe, though. Not gonna lie. Another Dragapult list here. And once again, a little bit more. Oh, this one has 4 Crispin. Hold up. Let me look at... This one also had 4 Crispin. But it had, like, the whole Kangaskhan shenanigans going on. This one is, like, the most straightforward Dragapult list I think I've seen. 4 Crispin, 4 Lilies, 2 Brocks, 4 Buddy Poffin, 3 Pokepad, but 4 Ultra Ball. And what the heck? Is this, like, a current... like... Dude, this is so straightforward. 2 Meowth, got the Fez in there, a couple Jamming Towers, and then a 1 Risky Ruins. What is Jamming Tower even that good against? What am I missing? Like, should we just not be playing like 3 Risky Ruins so we can generate damage on our side of the field for our Monkey Dories? You appreciate the 86 months there, Tyrant. Like, I'm looking at all these decks. I'm like, why are we playing Jamming Tower? It should just be more Risky Ruins, I feel like. Hero's Cape? Hero's Cape in the Crustle deck? Are we playing around that? I don't think we're playing around that. I think this Crustle might be cooking us. It doesn't matter. Pack it up. We trap Pokemon from Air Balloon builds? But what is that? That's what I'm saying. We can say Air Balloon exists. Oh, Max Belt and Lucario. Okay, Max Belt and Lucario is probably the reason. That's the main... That has to be the main reason for sure. Cynthia's Tools, Lucky Helmet maybe. All right. There's a couple more things. Yeah, I was drawing a blank. When I saw Jamming Tower, I was like, wait a second. What are we turning off here? Does Jamming Tower show off Genesect? It does not, no. And then, of course, Unfair Stamp for the Disruption card, as always. Unfair Stamp. Really cool. Okay. The highest placing Rockets deck. Top 8 still. 8th with the Honchkrow, Porygon 2 build. And this, the standouts for me in this build is that there is a Pheasantipity. Ooh, also only 2 Porygon. Man, those Porygons are going to get picked off so fast. 2 Articuno. We also saw like every Rockets deck playing 2 Articuno. So you didn't want to, I guess you just don't want to prize. I mean, it is pretty bad to prize against Pult. But also is pretty important against like Dusknoir decks to have the double Articuno against like Pult Noir. Not maxing out the supporters as well, is only playing 3 of the Petrol, which is definitely the weakest of the supporters. But it's still interesting to see 1 less Petrol in there, to be honest. Not playing the max support account. Yeah, the 2 Porygon is definitely something that sounds to me as being like, ooh, 2 Porygon? But yeah, pretty vanilla list besides that, including 1 Ultra Ball to have a little bit more late game discard and Pokemon search. So you can up your Rockets numbers, your supporter numbers for your Porygon in the late game. And then was rocking that Miracle headset. Right under that, though, was another Team Rockets deck. We got the Mewtwo Spidops. We saw a decent amount of this deck throughout the tournament, and honestly, it looked pretty good. The deck looked pretty good. So I'm excited for Team Rockets Mewtwo after rotation for sure. And it's actually like another big inclusion that we've seen. And maybe it makes sense. Lily is such a broken card. Sure, why not? There's 4 Lilies in here, which feels really bad that you're taking a Team Rockets deck with all of its powerful supporters and Team Rockets Transceiver, and you have Team Rockets Factory, and you're like, you know what? Lily is so good. Let's just play Lily. I'm just gonna play Lily. It's just broken. Just play the Lilies. Yeah, and they have 4 Lily in the deck, which is kind of sad. It is a little sad for sure. That people are actually playing Lily in the Team Rockets deck, because you'd like hope that it would be like a Team Rockets deck. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I can't really argue against it until I actually play with the deck, to be honest. 2 Archer. I think 2 Archer is probably a reasonable count. You have so many outs to it. Like, you're probably only going to want to do it like once or twice throughout a game anyways. I think 2 Archer is reasonable. It's possible that you could build a Team Rockets deck that spams Archer, though. You could play like a 4 Archer Mewtwo deck for sure, and just like every turn, just Archer your opponent. Assuming you can actually draw into everything you need on your side of the field under it, that could be like a cool way to build a Team Rockets deck for sure. I don't hate the 4 Lilies, to be honest. I don't hate the idea of that being the way to go. And then playing Clefairy as well. I think every Mewtwo Rockets deck we saw had the Clefairy in there. It's a little bit more tech for that Dragapult matchup, which was so prevalent. Dragapult was definitely the most popular deck of the tournament for sure. But success-wise, I mean, Dragapult is the most represented deck here in Cut, I believe, but like not by a wide margin, right? There's like 4 Dragapults, but then you have like 3 Rockets decks, 2 of them being the Team Rockets Mewtwo. So, but another Pult build here, and they're all a little bit different for sure. This one is pretty similar to the last one we just looked at, though. Heavy on the Crispin and the Lilies, 4 Poffin, 4 Pokebad, 4 Ultra Ball, just like super straightforward. This one actually doesn't have the Jamming Towers, 2 Risky Ruins, and a Team Rockets Watchtower. And I think the Watchtower, maybe a little bit of an underplayed stadium at this tournament. It feels like the Watchtower is actually probably a pretty decent inclusion. Decent amount of Noctowl stuff still. Meowths, Kangaskhan's. So, feels like Watchtower slots pretty easily into Dragapult, and maybe a little bit underappreciated at this tournament specifically. With so many unfair stamps in the format, it feels kind of weird seeing 3 Lilies. 4 Lilies, 3 Ariana. It is not that uncommon, though, for Lily to see you... To see Lily draw more cards than Ariana, to be honest. So that's not crazy. That's why I like the Lily. Just seems like it might be the best way to play the deck, because Lily, like in the mid game, when you have like a hand, like a lot of times the Rockets hands get kind of stuck. So Lily allows you to free up your hand, see more new cards for the turn, and continue to progress your board state. He'll block their own Meowth with Watchtower in the tournament. 0, because I think we saw like 1 Watchtower total. All right, another Raging Bolt here. The second of the 2 Raging Bolts in Cut. And I think this one is the more aggressive version. Hey, I got to give it a second to load. There it is. Oh, no, it's the Joltik build. We actually saw this build on stream as well. The Joltik Bolt. Boltik. With not just Terapagos in here as well. We got the Water Pawn, and it is a trolley build. Dude, wait, we're playing trolley, but we're playing 3 petrol? Bruh. All right, I don't know about that. What? I was expecting 4 petrol, maybe some Pokegears. We're all in on this trolley. Well, we're not. I guess we're maybe not all in. If we just draw a couple of good basics plus an Ultra Ball on the opening hand, we can still make it work without the petrol, I guess. I was expecting 4 petrol and maybe some Pokegears, though. We saw them play on stream. We didn't see the actual list, obviously. Oh, true. Ultra Ball for Meowth for petrol. Fair. We have 3 cats for... Okay. That's right. That's fair. I forgot about the cat. I was disrespecting Meowth. I forgot about his power. My bad. That's right. Meowth for petrol, for trolley. We have a ton of outs. We have a lot of outs to turn on trolley. I take it back. I apologize for my something. Yeah, Meowth, trolley. No Kangaskhan is actually interesting in here, but I guess like the 1, 2, 3 prize trade, you maybe don't want to give that up. Like if you're gonna play Joltik, do you really want to give your opponent? Yeah, if you're gonna play Joltik, do you really want to give your opponent a 3 prizer? Maybe not. So I guess that makes sense maybe to not include Kangaskhan in this deck. No Chi and Pow. Yeah, no Chi and Pow is also interesting as well. No self-stadium bump. Feels a little weird for sure. Yeah, interesting build of Raging Bolts. Also, It did feel like a go first format, I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe people were still choosing second, but it felt like people were choosing first. And playing a go second deck like this, you're going to have that much more, I don't know, power in the format. That much more advantage to be gained neutrally, because you're just going to choose second and your opponent's going to choose first. So it feels pretty good to be playing a deck like this. Or yeah, playing like a deck like this in the format. This was, I think, a more traditional Terra box. Oh no, this is like a Terra box, but no Noctowl. This is like no Noctowl Terra box, basically. So this is something that we've seen be played in the current standard format. Dude, is everything just unfair? What were the Mewtwo's playing? Maximum Belt. I didn't even check their A specs. We didn't check that one yet. So it's all, this one was playing Miracle Headset. This is playing Hero's Cape. Unfair. No unfair. Probably. Then we get down to the Terra box. Unfair stamp, of course. Water Pawn and Teal Mask Ogre Pawn be the main attackers. For Cyrano as like our setup, I guess. We're not doing like any kind of turn one attacks, I guess. This might be another deck that chooses second, right? Like you choose second, play Cyrano ideally, set up your squad, then turn two, play Crispin, maybe some E-switches get involved, and then you attack with Water Pawn or whatever makes the most sense for the situation. Sure, yeah. And then, yeah, of course, Unfair Stamp, Cypher into Unfair Stamp. Got the Briar in here. Briar seems pretty good, I guess, overall. Especially with these, like, 2 prize decks where you might take a 1 prize knockout as your first attack. Once again, plays the Ares Hero, no Chien Pao. I feel like Chien Pao seemed really, really good. Yeah, not playing the Chien Pao. Another Team Rocket's Mewtwo deck here. Once again, with the Maximum Belt. I have to imagine just having another tool against Dragapult is the main reason for that, but is there really not a good way to win if you retreat lock someone? Most of these decks have 0 mobility cards. How do most of these decks beat Yveltal, Frostlass, Monkey Dory? Everyone is playing Stamp, but everyone's playing Stamp, not Prime Catcher. I'm so confused at how retreat lock decks didn't dominate. I mean, it's maybe like it was maybe an unknown gap in the metagame, for sure. Also, those decks do take longer to win, and they only have 25 minutes best of 1, so that will be a factor for something like a Frostlass retreat lock deck, is they're playing 25-minute best of 1, so lot higher potential for ties, definitely. Yeah, another Mewtwo deck here. Once again, heavy on the lilies. Actually, is this the same 60? Oh, it is the same 60. Yeah, it's the same exact 60 here from both of the players in top 16. Heavy lilies, only 3 stadiums, and then the Maximum Bell is the A spec. 2 Lucarios in cut. First one being a non-Hariyama build. We saw this one on stream as well. It's a Monkey Dory Lucario build. Man, I didn't even realize how little access they had to the Dark Energy. I think we saw them with the Crispin at one point, so I just kind of assumed there was more Crispins. Dude, I don't know about this. Dude, playing 4 Pokepad when you don't even play Hariyama feels so bad. That's so much. I guess it does find Riolu and Monkey Dory as well, I guess. And every Pokemon deck looks so vanilla now. Meowth for Crispin, I guess. Well, I don't know if we're putting Meowth in play to find Crispin, but I mean, I think Meowth is more in there just to help us play the game, get us what we need when we need it. I don't think we're thinking, okay, we have Meowth for Crispin whenever to always set up our Monkey Dories. We can finally go 4-4-4-4-4. Yeah, we kind of are entering a 4-4-4-4-4-4-4-4 format. One wall is Compassion for the big heal, the Scoop Up Cyclone for another big heal potentially. It feels weird to play this build of Mega Lucario without the Hero's Cape, though. I feel like the Hero's Cape is such a big factor for this style of Lucario build. Like, we don't have the Hariyama to be as aggressive or to mess with the prize trade as much, because Hariyama's like a pretty good attacker. Like, if we ever go up against a deck that can one-hit KO us outside of us having the cape, it's literally just cooked, right? Yeah. You can scoop up the Meowth, so using it on Crispin is fine. True, I forgot that Meowth comes with our Scoop Up Cyclone. Like, when you Ultra Ball for Meowth, he, like, grabs the Scoop Up Cyclone out of the deck and puts it in your hand with him. That's where his paw is reaching in the back there to grab your Scoop Up Cyclone when you pull him out of the deck. It's a pretty useful combo. Yeah, I don't know about this build. I don't know about the build to Scuba Cyclone. Lack of Hero's Cape. Like I was saying, the Hero's Cape feels like super... I mean, it is like a one of in your deck anyway, so it's the Hero's Cape, so you have to find that early enough to have it be a factor. Another Terror Box here. More traditional Terror Box with the Noctowl. We saw a pretty cool build of Terror Box from Shintaro, actually. He did play on stream at some point. His build was pretty sick with like Dusknoir and Briar. We see this build doesn't even have Briar in it. Although I could see that being fine. Because I could definitely see a lot of prize trades in the format just kind of being like 2 for 2s. Like you draw 2, I draw 2, you draw 2. Whoever whiffs first loses type situations. That wouldn't shock me. So not playing Briar, it definitely seems like there's some merit in that for sure. And I think Shintaro was playing Prime Catcher actually, probably to combo with Briar in the late game. You think New Koraidon is good in Terror Box to KO Kangaskhan? I don't remember what the card does, but probably not because Kangaskhan's not like really an attacking deck right now. So probably not. Maybe in the future if Kangaskhan comes back as a deck though. Is there no need for Pika anymore? I mean, the only real big Pokemon is Polt, so probably, yeah, probably not. There probably isn't. I mean, there is stuff like Grimmsnarl, but you have the grass attackers for that. There's stuff like Mega Starmie, but it feels like Mega Starmie kind of rotated out of the format as we got into this tournament. I guess Mega Diancie would be a reason to run the Pikachu, right? You don't have a way to KO Mega Diancie with this build. So, yeah. Definitely wouldn't be a bad inclusion still, probably, right? Specifically for Mega Diancie. And Pikachu with Light Ball still seems sick. You still need to hit that hard, though. It really is just like Mega Diancie, I think. Mega Diancie is like the one card where it's like, okay, you need Pikachu for that. But basically every other deck, I think, Steel Mask, Clefairy gets there. Water Pond for a double prize turn is always available. And then, you know, Boss KO Fez is going to be a win condition as well. No Ursaluna in this list for the late game closer. Yeah. I mean, doesn't Pika just beat a lot of these decks? All the big basic decks can't deal with Pika. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a fair point. Yeah, like stuff like Raging Bolt can't actually set up an attacker and KO your Pika or get around your Pika in the same turn. So, yeah, that is a fair point for sure. I don't know what the expected form, like what people were playing around going into the tournament though, or like what the metagame is going to look like after that as well. So that's like the thing to keep in mind is like what were people playing around going into the tournament? Like, what was the expected metagame? And then what is the expected metagame afterwards as well? Possible, like, the Raging Bolt's success and stuff like that kind of came out of nowhere, and people will readjust from there. But I don't know, like, just, like, double Clefairy against Raging Bolt also seems like more than enough, right? So it's like, do we want to really play this extra Pokemon that is, like, has very limited utility? Maybe not, right? All right, final deck here is another Lucario, and this is just the Hariyama build, so the more straightforward take on the deck. Although this build actually is playing 2 Wally's Compassion. So they still got the Wallies in here. And there's no supporters in this deck, huh? 4 Lilies, 2 Judge. But if you choose first and you go through 2 Lunar Cycles to initially get going, maybe that's just fine, to be honest. They are playing the 2 Soul Rock, 3 Soul Rock, 2 Lunatone lineup, 2/2 Hariyama. They got a cat in there. Just a 4/3 Lucario. Then, yeah, the 2 Wally's Compassion, a couple Boss. Super straightforward. Got a couple power cards. Judge does play the maximum belt like we talked about earlier. Probably just mostly for the Dragapult matchup there. Double Premium Power Pro does get a 1-hit KO on a Dragapult, but it's nice to have more ways to do that through the maximum belt. So, yeah, I mean, this is... Oh, and 2 Gravity Mountain. Man, they are really trying to 1-hit KO Dragapults here. But that is, like, the biggest matchup, right? That does make sense. It also works against stuff like Grimmsnarl or... Grim. There's got to be other matchups as well. What's the special fighting energy good for? Special fighting is good against Alakazam. Can be good against Dragapult. Like, you can protect somebody on the bench from the damage spread of Dragapult as well. Like, protect your Makuhita. So, it definitely has some utility. For sure. Yeah, Gravity Mountain. I mean, there's some matchups for Gravity Mountain. Grim. Polt's got to be the main one, though. I mean, Polt's the most popular deck by far, so... Not a bad card. Absol. Yeah, Absol, you can use it against... Although I think you're 1-hit KOing Absol. You're probably not worried about using your special energy against Absol. You probably just 1-hit KO them with your Lucario. You'll be okay. Yeah, this is like a super standard build, I would say, for sure. Definitely what I would have expected to see. But that's it. That's the top 16 list from Champions League Fukuoka. We'll maybe revisit these once they come out, if like once the all top 32 lists become available, but we don't have those with us right now, so just take a look at the top 16.